Hello, good evening, students. How are you? I hope everyone is, done beautifully well in their exams, and I wish all the best for the students who will be watching this video for upcoming, JEE sessions. So today we are here, to discuss yesterday's paper shift 2, where we are going to talk about the brief analysis of JEE paper. So in this session, we are going to talk majorly about mathematics section, followed by chemistry and physics in the upcoming webinars. So do watch, the upcoming webinars as well. So overall difficulty level wise, JEE has balanced it quite well this time in all the shifts. Although progressively people are believing that, on the day one, the exam was comparatively easier compared to yesterday's shift. But if you look at mathematics, it was well balanced between 11th and 12th. Conic sections, as we are predicting right from the beginning that it got a good amount of weightage in the overall paper. And apart from that, from algebra and integration and differentiation, a lot of questions were there, and followed by matrices, determinant, and it's well balanced. So it's like all the topics were given fairly equal weightage. So we'll go through them one by one. So this is one of the questions that students, they have actually reported. So this is a memory based paper out of which we have selected, few questions that we can discuss today. And one of the favorite, questions which comes every year, okay, limit as a sum, where we differentiate, these questions. So many students, are finding it difficult at times to classify that whether it is a limit based problem or limit as a sum, which is, the part of applications of integration. So as we have already, we are discussing in our, you can say, classes also. The students are already there. Just hold on for a second. Let me just see who all are there in chat box. Yeah. Okay. So we have Ansh is there. Hello, Ansh. Dragon Sen is there. Hello. Right. And Arigato. Right. So nice names. Right. Yeah. So basically, when we talk about limit as a sum, so in this case, we see that the number of terms are infinite. Okay. So how to differentiate a limit question from limit as a sum question? So in a limit question, the variable itself will be infinite. Okay, the operating variable. Now in this case, when we look at as a summation question, so here the number of terms are infinite. So basically, we just have to find a general term here, right? That's the rule. So here we can see, as you can see in the numerator, right? So uh, in the bottom, if I look at this thing, so obviously this is a small, printing error here. Yeah. So basically, numerator is constant with an n, right? And then you are having n, and this is plus 0, plus 1, plus 2, and it goes on, right? So obviously square, should have been there. So it goes like this, and so in general we can write, so this is the first position, this is 0, this is second position, this is 1. So this goes like n into r minus 1, right, where r refers to the position and we are referring to its whole square, right? So once you write this summation, right, then it's just a cakewalk, to write this whole thing in the form of f of r by n. So we can clearly take out n common from this bracket, right, all of you? So and the summation will start from r equals to 1 to n, or we can write it as n plus r, okay, where r starts from 0 to, basically we can modify the limit so that the expression is relatively easier to handle, right? So we can just write it as 1 over 1 plus r by n whole square, right? And then this will get cancelled and we have our standard form, right? 1 by n. So this will just become 1 over 1 plus x square. Summation will convert into integration, and all of you are, genius after this to convert. So typically this question should have been solved within 30 to 40 seconds, okay? The time that has been allocated to us is roughly 2 minutes, right? So questions like these, which are short, every year we are discussing in the sessions about few chapters, few concepts from where questions are definitely going to appear in any year's JEE exam. So that is not a rocket science. If you observe last 10 years of paper, you'll always see a question like this. So expect a similar question, okay, when we will be sitting in the next shift, okay. So same similar problems would be there, okay. Now moving on to the next problem. Now this is again one of the areas where JEE is asking questions almost every year based on the determinant and matrices, where they are giving a determinant, modifying the matrix, and then asking the resultant. Sometimes adjoint comes this year. I would say this is relatively a very easy question. Generally the questions from matrices and determinants are coming bit tricky, but this was a very easy cakewalk. So basically uh, in this case, matrix A determinant is given to us, right? So which is 4. Now matrix B is formed using this in matrix 2A. Okay, so first of all, 2A, what will be the determinant? Since the order is 3, right? So we'll multiply it by 2 raised to power 3 into 4, that is 32. Now matrix B is basically formed in this 2A by applying this transformation, right? Now as we know that if you're adding or subtracting a proportionate row of a determinant, so let's say if there is any this A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 goes like A7, A8, A9, right? So basically if I add this thing here, like the third row to the second row, will it change the determinant, all of you? Please respond in the chat box. Will it change? Yes, Arigato. We'll talk about that, what I do, and so probably right now we'll focus on the JEE, paper, and then we'll talk about the other things at the end. Okay? Yeah. So guys, please let me know, like if you're, I want to know the answers, right? So obviously this will not change here, right? Whatever is, we are adding. So technically this operation is just given to confuse us. Now whenever we are multiplying any row by a constant, so technically if we are multiplying this by 2, and then we take out this 2 out, okay, so it's like this is one determinant. I'm just writing it again so that there's no confusion. So basically if I say this determinant is A, right? Now there's another determinant A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. If I multiply these elements by 2, what will be its determinant, all of you? So clearly if I can take 2 out, it will be same as determinant of A. Right, all of you? So this is technically just twice of the original determinant. Same thing has been done here. So if you are applying this transformation, the determinant will become twice of the original determinant. So it was a very simple question. So whenever we are multiplying the whole matrix, the all rows are getting, all columns are getting multiplied if we go by row or column, and when we are just multiplying to a particular row, right? So directly you can say the determinant gets multiplied by that factor. So for those who know matrix handling pretty well in terms of determinant, so they could have just done it without writing all these steps. This were all like for conceptual understanding by learning, but while doing in the paper, so 2a say we could have clearly written it like this way, and once we know that okay, only one row is getting multiplied, another 2 here, so directly we could have got this answer as 64 in this case, right guys? Yeah. Now this is one of the questions why I have picked, because every year we are finding permutations and combinations as one of the most difficult chapter. Even when we are explaining it in the class, the feedback that we are getting from many students, right, that's this chapter, even because there's no fixed theory for this. Once we learn it, it itself becomes lot of permutation combinations within the chapter itself. Like there are so many cases, selections, combinations, grouping, like elements, selection of few objects, then grouping of few objects based on some restrictions. So many things to choose from. But if we keep our basics right, because there is no particular theory, if we apply logic well, ideally I would say these type of questions are speed breakers. Well, I picked these questions so that whenever we are looking at PNC questions, if we read, we should read it. If we see that okay, we have done a same problem or very similar problem which was short, we should go for it. But this particular problem which came, so the earlier two questions could have been performed well under 1 minute. This question, since it involves case working and it takes time and the exam pressure is there at times, even if one case gets missed, okay, so we get lot variation in the answers, and plus none of these is there, right, which makes it even tougher. So even if you are getting an answer which does not match these three, this thing will always go in our mind that none of these can be one of the options, right? So basically, we have to make sure that PNC questions we are selecting, wisely, and we are reading it. And if we find that okay, this is a question which I have done, then only go for it. Okay. So in this question, let us try to see. So I'll give you guys maybe 2 minutes to solve. If you guys can try it, or you guys have already tried it, so you can let me know in the chat box if you want to answer this one. In the meanwhile, uh, let me see if anyone is finding any difficulty in the chat box. Okay, so far no doubts as of now. Yeah, anyone for this one? So I'm just waiting for a response in the chat box. Hmm. Please reply, sir. Okay. You have to find. Can I was just asking if anyone has solved this problem. You can let me know in the chat box. Okay, fine. Let me solve it. Like so. Basically, let us first read the question. Set of all four-digit natural numbers which has exactly one digit, 7. Okay, this should be 1 here. Yeah. Find the probability of choosing a number so that it leaves remainder 2 when divided by 5. Okay. So first of all, we have to make a set of four-digit numbers which is exactly having one digit, 7, right? So what we can do, since there are four digits, right? So one case is where we can fix 7 here, right? Now in this case, there is no restriction on the digits that we choose here. So 9 possibilities here, 9 here, 9 here. Okay. Now you can do this thing here like one by one case working, or what you can do now, since you know that 7 has to be placed on the last three one, okay, the only restriction will come on the first digit, right? So I would prefer we can go by this way, because in this one it's pretty easy. So 8 digits, because 0 is not allowed, 7 is not allowed, and then 9 into 9. Now same thing we'll find for all three cases here, right, all of you? So for all three cases, same thing will be there, right? So 9 into 9 plus 3 into, now this will become our sample space. Okay. Now the important part was, again, this was the first thing which some people might take time if their basics are not clear, but it's quite easy once we make the case working on the screen. As you guys can see, it's quite easy, right? Now moving ahead, this is a bit tricky, right? First of all, it's not the complete set of numbers, four-digit numbers. Now we have to select those numbers where the remainder is 2 when divided by 5. Now since 5 will leave the remainder only if the unit digit is either 2 or 7. So for this also we can do the case working, right? Now if I write last digit as 7, right, then obviously how many numbers I have? 8 into 9 into 9. These are the numbers, because they will exactly contain 1 7. All of you understood this part? Yes. Now same way, if last number is 2, right, now one of the digits have to be 7, right? So 7, if it comes here, right, what are the possibilities here? 9 into 9. Now if the 7 goes on the, I'm just writing it here on the top so that it doesn't cut. So if 7 goes on the second position, right, all of you, Then here only 8 digits can come because 0 and 7 both are not allowed, and 9 here. And then if 7 goes here, then again 8 into 9. So this way we can count these 4 cases quite easily, and same way we can count the 4 cases. Any doubts here? Hmm. Rigato, definitely, I'll let you know details about joining us next year. I am definitely taking, grade 11th and 12th both, right? So definitely, you are most welcome in our, batches, right? Not clear. Rishabh says not clear. Okay. So let me just go, take it once again. So basically, the question said that we had exactly 1 7, right? So basically, if a 4-digit number is formed, so do you guys understand this step? These are the 4 cases where exactly 1 7 digit is formed, right? Yes, it's clear. Okay. Yes, Arigato. I'll be talking about that at the end. Okay. So I think you should first focus on the current webinar, and let's not, enter that chat again and again. Yeah. Yeah. So sample space finding, this was clear to all of you, right? Now the desired number was leaving remainder 2 on division by 5. So when is that possible, all of you? Either the last digit is 7 or 2. This part is clear or not? All of you. This part is clear or not? Yes. So basically, if it is 7, there is no confusion. Why? Because there was only 1 7. Now on the first digit, 0 cannot come, 7 cannot come, right? So only 8 possibilities are here. On the second digit, now 0 is allowed, but 7 is still not allowed. So 9 digits are possible. Same for this one. This part is clear to everyone, right? Ansh, is it clear to you now? Now coming to the fourth one, guys. So basically, if the case working goes with 2, now again 7 can take 3 positions. So I'm not, writing that in the permutation form. I'm just positioning 7 one by one. These will be the numbers, right, all of you? अब इसमें कितने digits possible है यहाँ पे? Except 7, everything can come. 9 into 9. Now here, 7 is not allowed and 0, it's not allowed. So 8 possibilities into 9, because 7 is not allowed because the numbers contain exactly 1 7, right? Same way it goes for this case. So everyone is clear about this part? Sample space calculation goes pretty easy. This is 9 into 9 into 9. Here it is 8 into 9 into 9. So same, for all the cases. Okay, perfect. Moving on to the next problem. Now again, this is one of the favorite concepts that we discuss every year in, conic sections. As I was mentioning in the beginning, conic sections got very good weightage. Every year we are, emphasizing, because this is the only chapter which is purely coming from grade 11th. Although in integration we do have application of ellipse, or you can say other conic sections, but it's a chapter which is independently, completed in grade 11th, one of the chapters, because most of the chapters of grade 11th are extended in grade 12 for mathematics, except this one, then PNC, binomial and all, right? But conic sections weightage is quite good, because why I am saying it is quite good, because if we understand circles and parabola well, okay, only 2 units, along with the straight lines, we can do ellipse, hyperbola and other things pretty well, because the definitions are same, process is same. The only thing that varies is the curve equation. The curve equation, which is again nothing but a 2-degree equation and 2 variables, that only changes. Now in this one, it's given to us that this is the ellipse, right? And this line, I'm not drawing the exact diagram. It's just rough diagram, you can say. So it cuts, find the angle subtended. So can anyone guess like which question is this actually? This angle is asked. Can anyone guess what concept we are going to use here? Perfect, Saransh. Okay. So you remember it perfectly well, right? So we have done it so many times, Saransh, right? You remember it? Yeah. Okay. So homogenization is one of the concepts that we are talking every year, and this is the only concept where I tell in the class, don't ask about why and the core logic. Just learn the process. Apart from this, most of the mathematical concepts we are deriving and understanding the logic. But this works very well for solving questions like this. So in homogenization, what we do, the curve equation is given to us. So by homogenization, what we mean, like all the terms should have the uniform degree. In this case, we can clearly see that the first two terms are homogenized degree 2, but this constant term has to be homogenized from here. So what is the value of 1? We can write 1 square s. So this will be homogenized again, like, so if I'm homogenizing the line with the curve, what equation I'm getting? So let me just write it in on the next slide so that it's clear to all of you. What does this equation represents, all of you? This represents pair of straight lines from origin to points that are like that. In this case, it's a chord intersects on the curve, right? So in general, if I'm drawing any curve and if this is a line, okay, so what does that pair of equation will give us? These two pair of lines. Now in the question, it's asked that the angle subtended at the origin by the segment, which means angle between these two lines. Everyone understood? So some of the people who are currently studying with me in grade 11 have also, I can see the comments. So you guys, I've already mentioned these questions are coming and we have done it in the class also, right? So just make sure for next year you guys are, planning, learning from this year's analysis and learn it in that manner only, right? So, so basically now this gives us pair of equation which we can easily solve now, and then it just becomes pair of. So best part is y square gets cancelled, and this is just x square by 2 plus 2xy equals to 0. So you can directly get the equations of line in this case. X by 2 plus. So one of the lines is x equals to 0, right? Another line you can say x is equal to minus 4y. So you can get the angle and apply the tan theta identity between the two. Is this clear all of you? Best part क्या है कि x equals to 0 क्या है अपना? यही लाइन हो गई, राइट? y एक्सिस. अब जो भी एंगल इसका आएगा वो क्लियर है एकदम. tan इनवर्स ऑफ अगर हम इसको वैसे देखें x इक्वल्स टू माइनस 4y, सो बहुत ही क्लियर हो गया ये तो एकदम, राइट ऑल ऑफ यू? So just take the tan inverse of this angle. Understood everyone? And add those two angles. ये तो देखो, this question I don't know why they have put it in JEE, just to understand this iota part, right? Otherwise this question even a 10th grade student could have attempted with the brief knowledge of complex number. So clearly if quadratic equation has one root like this, can you guess what will be the other root, all of you? Very difficult, right? 1 plus 2 iota. Now alpha plus beta is given to us. Alpha beta is given to us. We can clearly find alpha minus beta, right? This part is clear to all of you. But here one mistake that we have done. So alpha and beta are not the roots here, they are the coefficients here, right? Yes all of you? So basically sum of roots से directly alpha और beta मिल जाएगा, तो directly subtract करना है, इसमें sum of roots और product of roots नहीं लगाना है. ओके, सो दिस थिंग फ्लो में हम लोग गलत कर देते हैं. सो इसलिए वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट इन दिस केस अल्फा बीटा आर नॉट द रूट्स, अल्फा बीटा आर द कोफिशिएंट्स इन दिस केस. Okay, so that's the only area of silly mistake, and that's the only reason why I have brought this question. Otherwise, this question was not more than 30-second attempt. But while doing such questions, we at times make mistake. अल्फा बीटा हम क्या करते हैं, इससे हम यहाँ पे ये ए और बी एज्यूम करके we write these things, these terms here, and then we make mistake in the final calculation. Okay, moving on to the next problem. Again ये तो direct module का same problem है, right, which we are doing in the this is there in the ask IITians module as well. Exact, like similar question, just a little bit difference in this equation. So whenever we are doing questions like that, the first thing we always should write is the expression. Okay, that what how the expression alpha raised to power 9 minus. Now what is given to us? Alpha and beta are the roots of this one. So there is a difference of degree 2 here. Can all of you see that? Difference is, so if I write alpha square as 6 alpha plus 2. So basically क्वेश्चन सॉर्टेड लग रहा है अगर हम इसको अल्फा स्क्वायर के टर्म्स को कंबाइन कर लेते हैं. अल्फा 8, अल्फा 10, सॉरी, minus 2, alpha 8 minus beta 10, 2 beta 8. So अब इसमें if I take alpha 8 common, all of you, what will be left in the bracket? Alpha square minus, do you see what is alpha square minus 2 from here? 6 alpha, right guys? So chat mein you guys are not very active. I want all of you to interact, right? So this alpha raised to power 8 goes with 6 alpha. Same way this will go with 6 beta. So 6 you can take out. Alpha raised to power 9 minus beta raised to power 9. So this is beta here. And 3 times the same expression is given in the denominator. So do you guys see how easy this is? Yes, all of you? Again, this is a grade 9th or 10th Olympiad level problem. Not more than that. If you have not done problems like that, it will not get solved in the JEE exam. But if you are listening to the lectures properly, so whenever teachers are marking important questions, so this is one of the questions where which always appear in the practice part, and we need to make sure that we are retaining it while practicing, right? So moving on to the next problem. ये तो एकदम easy है, right? मतलब one of the easiest problems. So the questions which we are doing here, right? So these are the questions which came in shift 2 yesterday, and people are saying that the paper work was comparatively tough as per the analysis. Definitely the first shift paper, generally it has been observed over years that first shift paper comes little bit easy, just to make sure that students who are doing it in the second or third or the further shifts, so they get an idea from the first shift. So that's why little bit difference is there, but not much. Okay, so from the first attempt analysis we can very well be prepared for the attempt in March and April, and we can streamline our preparation over next 2 months for the same. So everyone knows this is AMGM, right? Yes, all of you? So we can easily apply this thing, right? And I guess once you do that, you can directly get the answer quite easily. So this is again a 30-second problem, not that difficult. So just I am making so those people who are watching the webinar right now, so they should feel very confident about their preparation, because there will be 5-7 easy questions in every paper, and if you are able to figure that out, remaining 20-23 problems we will crack quite comfortably. If not all, at least we can try 50% of them, right? Moving on to the next problem. So this is again, if you guys remember metrics, those who have completed grade 12th, right? So this the A into A transpose we can easily calculate. So 1 minus alpha, alpha, beta. So from here definitely we'll get the relationship between A and B, and then it's just like alpha 4 plus beta 4. We can apply those identities, alpha square plus beta square square minus 2. So using this relation we can easily find this property, right? Fine, all of you. Again, very easy problem. Just we need to know what is transpose, multiply it and solve the question. Okay, moving on to the next problem. So find the number of two-digit numbers such that, now these type of questions are generally coming in CAT, right? Matlab, the examination for MBA, but this type of problem, using binomial, we can easily solve for JEE. Chances are very thin, but this year this question came, right? We do discuss problems like this in the sessions, but definitely, the chances are thin for problems like this. But again, it has come, so we can easily, find this problem. So, two-digit numbers end such that this is divisible. So here we have to understand the recurring, uh, pattern, that power of 3. So divisibility by 10, right? When it is happening, all of you, when the last digit enters with, like, ends with 0. Yes, all of you. Divisibility by 10 का बहुत easy सा फंडा है ना, कि लास्ट डिजिट 0 से एंड होनी चाहिए. अब यहाँ पे वो चीज कैसे होगा, यहाँ पे वो चीज कैसे होगा? जब 3 प्लस 7 का कॉम्बिनेशन आएगा. अब 3 के पावर्स में क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज है? 3 रेज टू पावर 1 इज 3, 3 रेज टू पावर 2 इज 9, 3 रेज टू पावर 3 इज 27. तो बेसिकली हमें तो सिर्फ यूनिट डिजिट से मतलब है, पहले वाले डिजिट से मतलब ही नहीं है, राइट? एंड 3 रेज टू पावर 4 अगेन 1, राइट ऑल ऑफ यू? अब यहां पे जब 3 रेज टू पावर 5 में मूव करेंगे तो फिर से 3 आ जाएगा. तो ऐसे पैटर्न वाले नंबर्स कौन से होंगे? जो 4n प्लस के फॉर्म में होंगे. वाई डू यू लुक सैड? आई एम नॉट सैड. Okay, so basically for this n, what should be the possibility here, all of you? 4n plus 1. Now for 7, again, we look at the pattern, right? So again we see here the same pattern is recurring. So here it is 7, 9, 3 and 1. Now for 0, what are the possibilities, all of you? What are the possibilities? So either we can have 3 plus 7, 9 plus 1, 7 plus 3, 1 plus 9, right all of you? अब यहां पे we are able to see that these two combinations, when n is equal to 4n plus 1, it is following the order because we are getting 3 and 7 here. But when we are applying 4n plus 2, this is coming 9 and this is also coming 9. So this will not satisfy n in the form of 4n plus 2, right all of you? This part is clear to everyone? Now moving ahead, when we talk about this third one, now this is 7 here and this is 3 here. So this is one mistake that people do. They will just probably settle for 4n plus 1 कि देखा 4n plus 1 है, right? क्योंकि यहाँ पे n सेम है ना, तो n 4n plus 1 वाला वो लोग काउंट कर देते हैं. इंटीजर टाइप प्रॉब्लम है तो पता भी नहीं लगेगा कि वेदर वी आर डूइंग इट राइट और रॉन्ग, राइट? तो यहाँ पे 4n plus 1 और 4n plus 3, ये दोनों कैटेगरी वाले टू डिजिट नंबर्स हमें ढूंढने हैं. बेसिकली हम इसको m लिख लेते हैं ताकि कंफ्यूजन ना हो, क्योंकि n ऑलरेडी यूज्ड है, राइट? तो n शुड बी ईदर ऑफ द फॉर्म ऑफ 4m plus 1 or 4m plus 3। ऐसे 2 डिजिट नंबर्स हम निकाल लेते हैं। गॉट इट ऑल ऑफ यू दिस पार्ट, राइट? So basically, those people who are, get to join Ask IITians, right? So we are starting our crash course, starting from 1st of March. So if you are interested, you can just go to askIITians.com and, register yourself and, get enrolled for our crash courses where we are going to discuss, these type of problems for the April attempt. So the April attempt JEE Main crash course batch will start from 1st of March. So those who are interested, they can join. Okay. So that part is clear to everyone. Now if you guys have any questions, you're most welcome to ask in the chat box, right? And with respect to me, now there were some people who were inquiring, so definitely I'm taking all +1 +2 batches, droppers, crash course, all the batches. So if you guys are interested, while you submit your inquiry, you can make a request to have session session with me. Rest, if you guys have any question, you can ask. You're most welcome. Now, overall difficulty analysis compared to mathematics like physics and chemistry, we are always telling in the class they are comparatively easy. The physics level was quite comparable to maths in the this shift paper, whereas chemistry was on the easier side, which is happening most of the times. In maths, out of 30, almost 17 to 18 problems were doable if we have done the basic exercises of our module, and only level 1 if you have done and your basics are clear, so you could have easily attempted 17 to 18 problems. And if you have prepared well, right, so 20 to 23 problem could have been easily managed. Okay. And obviously for the people who are aiming for digit, single digit, 2 digit rank, we could have easily gone up to 28, 29 problems, right? Sir, level 2 is for JEE Advanced. Level 2 basically, so in the Ask Guidance package, we have multiple levels of exercise. So level 2 is basically for advanced and difficult portions of JEE Main. State level exercises, and level 1 is basically for JEE Main and other examinations like BITSAT and all, KVPY and all. SAT is there, right? So you can just mention my name, Arigato, sir, right? So they will sign you the badge. So on, at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. we have chemistry and physics analysis coming. So there also, the teachers are going to discuss about the difficulty level overall and what should have been the approach. And some question solving will be there, right? Yes. So basically, we cannot say that this pattern will be repeated. Okay. So last year it was 25. Before that it was, 2 years back it was 30. Then integer type came. Now again 20 plus 10. So every year they are changing the pattern. But the question levels are almost same. They are not difficult. If you observe 10 years paper, mathematical reasoning, one easy question was there. This year in all the shifts there was question either related to contra, positive, negation, like that, right? So we have to make sure that uh, we are basically revising those topics which teachers are telling, and these things we will be mentioning in our crash course also, that there are certain topics, 15 to 20 topics, which anyone can crack across physics, chemistry and maths. And there you can complete those chapters within half day, right? So we just need to make sure that we are revising those things properly, watching the analysis and observing ourselves last 2 3 4 years paper, will ourselves predict that what's going to come in the next shift. And the difficulty level is almost same, right? So those who are appearing in the coming attempts, they can expect similar set of questions, because if you see all the shifts, the questions are on same pattern, only some cosmetic changes are there, right? So with this, we can end the current session. You guys can enter the next webinar, okay, after 20 minutes from now, right? So stay tuned and do visit Ask IITians, website for registering yourself for the upcoming crash courses. And if you need any other assistance, counseling sessions and all, so you can also register there and ask our counselors to get you in touch with an IITian faculty so that you can get guidance for your exam preparations. Even if you're not interested in enrolling, that's totally okay. You can receive, and in the comment sections you can put your questions and we'll get back to you with your answer, right? So goodbye all of you. Take care. All the very best for your upcoming exams.